Well, back to Fog Wrestling, and we're here with another pay-per-view review. It's not in. Well, I mean, some people might count this as Ruthless Aggression, but for me, I mean, I'm not going to have too much of a debate with myself if it's Ruthless Aggression or not, but people will argue once it went from TV 14 to PG, that is obviously the beginning of the PG era, therefore the end of the Ruthless Aggression era, and we are currently reviewing the Ruthless Aggression era, so yeah, so you won't see any random reviews of those pay-per-views between like '02 up to like what May 2008, Great American Bash, whatever it is. But either side of that, there will be random pay-per-view reviews, because why not? My channel get deleted, and I fucking reviewed quite a lot of everything, not just wrestling, but so Fog Wrestling, I watched this the other day, No Mercy 2008, and it just shows you, even in an era that people don't consider fucking great, you know, 13 years ago, which is mad by the way, how the fuck this is 13 years ago, but we had some pretty decent matches. We had one 5-star match, and we had a couple of mad things, man. But here we go, we kick off the show with a great wee promo package about basically the hyping up all the main event matches. I mean, just look at the stars they had in this, and it wasn't like, I mean, they had everyone, you know, and it still felt, I mean, we had Matt Hardy, right, in the first match, defeating Mark Henry in 8 minutes for the ECW title, and this was a fucking good match. The crowd, like, Matt Hardy was more over with the crowd than Jeff, in my opinion, which I would never have predicted coming into this. Tony Atlas was in the corner of Mark Henry. Hardy had just won it at the Championship Scramble, so it was good to see him here get I mean, I think Matt Hardy probably should have got a world title reign with, like, you know, a proper belt, no the ECW belt, because, I mean, let's be real, this ECW belt was a bit dead in the water for about 2 years now. But yeah, this was a pretty decent match. Then we have, in just under 5 minutes, we have Beth Phoenix defeating Candice Michelle here. Almost, though, loses the Candice Michelle due to Santino Marella being out there. But, aye man, no quite. Then backstage, we had Triple H and Jeff Hardy, right? And I don't know what the fuck was going on here, because they had like they used to do this back in the day. It kind of reminds me more of like a Cyber Sunday gimmick, to be honest, but it's like a mobile voting system, and Triple H's like, I'm going to vote for you, Jeff. And this was just a really odd backstage segment. I mean, still superior to anything you'd get now, but I don't know, there was just something fucking off about this. Kane then cuts a promo for his match against Rey Mysterio, and I don't know what it is, like, this was like a really good promo by Kane, but I feel like in 06 and 07, I guess he was more of a face definitely towards the end of 06, you know, and in 07 he was, but like, you cannot tell me that Kane, especially unmasked Kane, is better. He's much better as a heel. Much fucking better. I think face Kane wearing the mask, like in the 90s and like early 2000s, it worked because he was, I think it just worked more, you know? Because he came in as like this monster heel, and then he began to like develop more, it was like more humane and all. But this was a good match between these two, man. But it ends in a disqualification. Rey Mysterio wins. He does not have to unmask. Kane, though, Rey jumps off the top rope, man. Fucking chair shot to the dome. Good night. Mysterio's dead. DQ'd. Good night. Then we have a #1 contendership match for the World Heavyweight Championship between JBL and Batista. And again, a fucking good match. Only goes about 5 minutes, right? But this was a good match. The whole gimmick is here, JBL's not had a good week due to the whole Wall Street crisis. This is obviously in 2008 with the recession stuff, so brilliant. But yeah, Batista, I mean, it's a really fast-paced match. Batista wins, and then after the match, JBL cuts his like really long promo, which was funny, and then it turns out Crime Time took his limousine, which he was obviously fuming about. Then we get MVP, he knocks on the door. I mean, this might have been out of order, like it might have been before that match or whatever, but he knocks on the door of Vicky Guerrero. She is the SmackDown GM at this point. Big Show answer says, do you not think Vicky Guerrero's got more important pressing issues than you? I don't know, I can't do a Big Show voice, mate, right? But I mean, the point stands here, he's fucking pish. So MVP makes his way out, then Orton comes out, Out comes Legacy. Orton basically buries all four of them. And then CM Punk and Kofi Kingston come out and they're like, right, let's team up MVP and batter Legacy. Even though it's Legacy minus Orton. So therefore, they're just pish. And they've got that Hatu guy, whatever I don't know if his name's Hatu. Mong? What's his fucking name, man? I don't know. I mean, he's only with him for about 3 weeks, and I managed to get him on one of those weeks. But they let MVP go in, he gets battered 3-on-1, which didn't really seem that nice. Then we get the promo package for Big Show against Undertaker. And again, I'll be real, I think a lot of Undertaker after the American Badass gimmick sucked, to be honest. His feuds with Triple H and Michaels, alright, brilliant. Some of the stuff he did with Batista and Edge, fantastic too. But there is just stuff like this, where he's feuding with Heidenreich, he's feuding with Big Show, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on here, big man? And he's also feuding with Vicky Guerrero, and then they've got Chavo Guerrero dressing up as the Undertaker. Oh, kiss my feet, Undertaker. I mean, what? What? What's this pish? But man, in terms of the match, I don't think you're ever going to get a great Big Show Taker match, right? But this, I don't know, there's just something very off about this. He wins though by technical knockout, the Big Show. 3 fucking knockout punches, good night, bang bang. It went 10 minutes, which is a fucking mystery in itself, but well, we move on. Triple H though, taking on Jeff Hardy for the WWE Championship. Now this was a good match. Now this normally, you'd be like, fuck, this was a really, really good match, but I think the main event just makes the rest of the matches look like a big pile of dog shit, But Triple H here defeats Jeff Hardy for the WWE Championship. There was numerous times I thought Jeff had this one, to be perfectly honest, but he didn't. And Swan Tom's Twist of Fate's good night, but Triple H with the pedigree in the end. Some great spots in this match, but Triple H retains the title. Basically, it was Jeff Hardy's last attempt at the brass ring, even though he'll win it like a month later or something. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't. And another thing about Punk, going back to CM Punk, he got wiped out by Legacy and Orton, and then he comes out with Kofi Kingston looking like a fucking goofball, and he just lets MVP get beat up. Alright, I get it, MVP's a bit of a dickhead, and it was kind of funny, but wouldn't you want revenge on the people that put you out of fucking action? Just going back to that there, guys, for a wee minute. But then, in the main event, ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Fucking instant classic. Ho, brilliant. Jericho, Shawn Michaels. Would it be anything else? These two putting on a match, a ladder for the world title. Would it be anything else but fan-fucking-tastic? Some of the spots in this, Jericho to the outside. The spot where, Michaels and they both crash through the announce table. The tug-of-war at the end. I'll admit, probably the only thing I wasn't really a fan of is, Lance Cade's interference, But at the same time, I guess Jericho's a heel, he kind of needs an interference, And, yeah, so I get that, but Lance Cade? Who came up with Lance fucking Cade? No, I'm sure I watched it weekly back then, but obviously it's been 13 years. So, I don't really have a fucking Scooby snack. Why Lance Cade helped Jericho? I'm just his best friend. He's an insurance policy. But was it the Poundland version of Rick Rude 11 years later? I don't fucking know, guys. But anyway, that will do it for No Mercy. But I feel like this was actually a pretty decent pay-per-view. The promos backstage were all good with Triple H with Arn Anderson, which was a good wee thing to see. But the opener was good. Even the women's match was no bad. Kane Ray was good. Batista Bradshaw was good. Big Show and Taker, I just didn't like that, I'll admit that. But then the 2 world title matches I thought were really good. And then the ladder match itself, full fucking unreal, guys. But in terms of a rating out of 10, I will give this a 7.5. Was that too... No, I'll give it an 8, guys. Because, that's maybe a wee bit too harsh. But that's just mainly because of the ladder match. It's not a great show, but there's nothing apart from the ladder match, there's nothing really iconic to it, But it's a good fucking show, guys. I would recommend it, and because you think if any wee Mongols thinking today's wrestling's good, well, you take a wee look at this.